Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It is Markets in the Morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Thursday, February 29th, 2024. Happy leap year day into like the, 0.1% of people who have a birthday today. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. This is where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, including the Bitcoin price chart and the altcoin market, along with taking a peek over there at the United States stock market as it gets set to open up in the next 3 minutes. Of course, we'll take a peek over there. We'll take a peek over there at precious metals like gold and the US dollar currency index or the DXY, and take a look over there at any type of financial news or any type of crypto news to start the day. So, woo boy, we got some green over there in the altcoin market, huh? How about that? What do you know? What do you know? Look at how many are above 10% in one day. How about that? All right. A lot of green over there in the market. Okay, today's the last day of the month, you guys. Just so you know, there will be a newsletter posted over there on Substack, blockchainbacker.substack.com. We're deep diving into the breadth of the United States stock market and that correlation to the crypto market and Bitcoin. So that has been all written up. It'll be recorded here in just a minute. I always include audio voiceovers with this thing, and that will be published here in the next couple of hours. So if you are subscribed, keep an eye out on your email. And if you haven't, go ahead and check out blockchainbacker.substack.com and catch up on all the newsletters. There's a lot of stuff in here, a lot of data that I've dove into in regards to the performance of this market and all the different stuff regarding the altcoins and Bitcoin and the correlation. And it's pretty funny out there. You would think on Twitter that they think I don't know what I'm doing here. But I'm going to show you today here on Bitcoin where we're at right now, how the spot that we're at right now with Bitcoin and the altcoin market and the total market cap, how it is an absolutely fascinating time. I think, what's going to be the deciding factor, the big thing that is missing from the market entirely is just the expansion over there in the stock market. But I will show you how where we are at right now at this exact moment has historically been the make or break moment for the whole market. And I'm going to show you that from 2020. We'll run through just some of the numbers really quick just to see how we're doing, and then check on the markets, and then we'll kind of dive into that for a second. Obviously, Bitcoin's sitting at 63,284. Yesterday, Coinbase went down. So I guess shortly after the stream, volumes got so intense, their website crashed. If you logged in and looked at your balance, you probably saw zero. But they have gotten things corrected now. Everything is back up and running. Obviously, we're seeing moves over there in the altcoin market. XRP is above 60 cents. Ethereum, where are you? How are you doing? 34.85, almost at a 702 retracement over there for Ethereum. SHIB up almost 20%. And then you got Doge, Solana, Litecoin, Cardano, and Mana up 10% or more. So a great start to today. And looking over there at the United States, we'll take a look at the total too, right? So total altcoin market, this one does exclude any type of stable coins. So still continuing to grind, almost at a 50% retracement there for the altcoin market. Gold sitting up there. Gold's having a move up today. Gold's at $2,048. United States stock market, are we open yet? We are open. Dow Jones up 45 points. S&P up 21 points, NASDAQ up 136. So there you go with the NASDAQ up right there, still up there at that 4.236 extension. United States dollar currency index still sitting there at 103.81. All right, we're going to kind of dive into Bitcoin and talk about where we're at this exact moment. So Bitcoin, as you can see, through all retracement levels, sitting up here near the highs, extreme excitement, extreme euphoria. I was taking screenshots of my Twitter yesterday and just sending them like, man, look how wild this is. And then if you look over there at the total market cap of the entire cryptocurrency market, you could see just a tick below the 702 Fibonacci retracement for the entire cryptocurrency market. So a super pivotal spot for the crypto market where it's currently at right now. Historically, this can be a make or a break level of where we are at this particular time when it comes to the market cap of all of crypto. Of course, all those concerns arrive there when you look at things of the locations of where the United States stock market is at and all of that. But have we ever seen this before? All right. Have we ever seen it to where we're back here at this level and that this is a important level and that maybe we've gotten here before at the exact same time of something like this? And we actually did. This is actually how 2020 looked. So we'll go back and kind of take a look back in here at 2020. And I will show you here. As you can see, Bitcoin gets through all retracement levels right in here, right? Let's throw on total. We'll change that color to something brighter. What looks better? No. We'll go with that one. You can see that easily. Okay. There you go. Bitcoin. We'll put you on log just to clean it up a little bit. Maybe? Nah. All right. You. There we go. As you can see, in 2020, by the time Bitcoin got through its last retracement level and got up here and battled around in here, where were we? Right back up in here with the total market cap. And this ended up being a deciding factor for whether the whole market took off or whether or not it didn't, right? And that's typical of 702 and final Fibonacci retracement levels. Either they work as rejection levels or they work as breakout levels. And so where we're at right now is really eerily similar to getting out and then us battling around in the retracement levels at the same time for the whole market cap of the cryptocurrency market. So let's do this and see if this makes it look any cleaner. There you go. Kind of see that's where we're at. And that just happens to be where we are at currently right now. So there you go. Like I said, though, the difference there is expansion in the stock market. It's the only element that's missing. So the question is, will we be able to get expansion happen over in the stock market? And not necessarily even coming from the Dow or necessarily coming from the NASDAQ, but can this market open up? Right now, the big problem in the United States stock market is everything is consolidated into a couple of things that are doing well. All the big names everybody is following, the NVIDIAs, the Microsofts, right? There was an earnings call last week for NVIDIA, and pretty much the whole world tuned into this thing, worried is the entire economy going to crash if NVIDIA's earnings are terrible. Even me, I'm sitting in the car driving around, and I'm listening to a Twitter space, and I'm listening to the NVIDIA earnings call. And I don't even care about NVIDIA. I don't even own it. And I'm sitting there listening to it like, oh my gosh, here we go. And sure enough, everything was okay. But we have such a consolidated market right now, so compressed into a few assets rather than an expansion of this market where the whole market is moving up. That is something that is very different from times of us getting back to these highs and being able to crush it out of here and get through there. And like in here, we were in an expansionary time period in here to be able to get this breakout. We were in an expansionary time period in here in 2017 to be able to get the breakout. We were in an expansionary time period to get this breakout happening here in 2013. And right now, for the first time, we don't have expansion. And another example of where we didn't have expansion would have been right back in here in 2019 and 2020. If you recall, the Dow Jones actually did break out into a new all-time high in here, but we didn't have expansion. It's very similar where it was consolidated into several assets and not spread out through the whole market where your mid caps and your small caps are all getting loaded to the upside, right? It was very compressed into just a few. And that's very similar to what we're seeing happening right now. So as we get back up in here in these levels, and we were testing these 702s for total market cap and all that good stuff right in here, the thing is, can we open up and go into expansion? And we have been in like we've talked about with time, right? Your time period. Let's get all this off of here. From a time perspective, how long you've been in here, right? Everything has followed your time scales of how long these things can last for. The big thing that is totally missing from this market at this point is expansion in the markets to get the exit. But just to know, this market actually, when it comes to the altcoin market, when it comes to Bitcoin, everything like that, of where the total market cap should be in relation to where Bitcoin is at right now, it's all acting like this, right? The big thing is, we know when we get back to these levels, these can be deciding points. And so this is kind of the make or break. It's almost like it's going to dictate our future for the next year of being like, are we all just going to be moon boys? Are we all just going to be hooting and hollering on Twitter and screaming and joy and watch just gains galore like this constantly? Or are we about, or is this the pivotal turning point? And this moment right here, where we are at right now, with this exact relationship of where Bitcoin is, where the total market cap is, where everything is, it's all right at that level of right before things got exciting in 2020. Just the major thing that is just glaring out there is that the stock market isn't expanding. So that things to keep an eye on. Well, to see if like good signs, right? Good signs would be to see like those low cap low cap stocks or mid cap stocks that you like. See things like, even like, I get it, like ARK, right? ARK, but like, put aside the times where Kathy Wood has sold the bottom of Coinbase or the bottom of Tesla or anything like that. But it's a basket ETF, right? It consists of a lot of different stuff. And seeing things like ARK rise is a example of expansion happening because of the basket of all the different stocks that are in there, right? Her basket is not completely consolidated of things like Nvidia and Microsoft and Facebook, right? It's got a lot of other stuff in it. And so if ARK actually started going, that would be something that you'd consider to be a really good sign, because it means the economy is expanding, the stock market is expanding, and it's shifting out and broadening out. We want to see the market actually broaden out. So if we saw the market broaden out right now, probably be incredibly optimistic, but we're at a point right now of being like, okay, well, is it? Because for those who were here in 2021, we witnessed a very similar behavior. We witnessed Bitcoin going up. This is the peak euphoria. This is where Coinbase IPOs, this is where laser eyes, diamond hands, Wall Street bets, all that excitement, Elon Musk, everything like that. And then, boom. Most things did not go back and set a new high. However, you had things like Solana, Luna, Bitcoin and Ethereum, but 90% of the market topped back there. And you could see that on things like Doge, right? Tops way back over here, where back in May. See that on things like Litecoin, right? Back over here in May, right? So we actually witnessed something like this happen in the cryptocurrency market, where the market did not broaden out, and it was really consolidated into a few assets. And what did we see happen with the market? We saw the Bitcoin market cap, we saw the Ethereum market cap go on and hit those 4.236 extensions, and then everything rolled over with a lack of breadth in the market. So right now we're in this like moment of being like, can we open up breadth? If we can open up breadth, then it can provide some hope and optimism to be able to get through here. But this is definitely the critical spot when you look at the whole market as a whole of where things can break out and reject from in regards to like real bull markets happening here from this level right in here. And if this does end up breaking out, there is zero question. Altcoins. That's just simple. I think people will realize that why it's not important to me to be extremely exposed to Bitcoin, and they're going to find out. If you imagined, and I think it becomes for a lot of our psychology, because pretty much everybody will scream about Bitcoin. So we get it jammed in our face and becomes overwhelming. We get sensory overload by seeing Bitcoin so much over there on Twitter. You're not going to see sensory overload of SHIB going up 19%. But a 19% move in Bitcoin would just set the world on fire, right? It would be insane, right? A 10% move in Cardano. You got a segment of the crypto community who's going to be excited about that, but you're not going to get sensory overload where everybody is going to be screaming about that. So we just get it jammed in our face, but we're not paying attention to percentages. And I think if we get through there, I've got all the data to back it up. None of this is like opinionated. It is all data driven. The altcoin market is going to be the place to be. And if we do get through that retracement level for the total market cap, which we need to do, we need to get through it, I'm going to bet, one, there will be news associated with it. And two, that's when XRP will get the big break. On that exact moment, no flip the switch, no narratives, no nothing. The whole market goes. That's the moment that it actually gets soaring and moving out of there, which we're seeing some move. We're above 60 cents today, but it's no breakout, right? But you see where it is, right? And this is where we were in 2020. All right here. Where was Bitcoin? Where are you? If I can find you. I think you're over here. There you are. Right. Where's Bitcoin? Right here. Which is back near its all-time high. Right there. The purple one. Right there. I know I don't have these lined up perfectly, but here. Kind of expanded a little bit so you can see it. There's Bitcoin. Right back in there. There's the total market cap at its 702. Battles it. The big breakout. That's where everything completely sets sail. And even in here, again, reiterating, if that happens, the altcoins are the place to be. Just cold, hard data fact. So that's where we are. We're there. And we've been here before. The big problem, which again I've written all about, which will be published today, is the lack of breadth. This is something we have not had in any Bitcoin bull run. And I think anytime we have if we don't have it, we always say, well, this time is different because of this particular narrative. And I do know that narratives tend to just be that. And I get it. Whenever we see some price action, we like to attribute it to that and say, see, the narrative does matter. But the FTX collapse did not send prices significantly lower. It was the mark of the bottom of the market. Elon Musk and Tesla adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet, their first major company outside of, Master, right? Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategy, sorry, them adding it, right? But Tesla was a major one, but price did not catch any more than that. So it's a lot of times just a narrative. But this is the thing, expansion in markets and where we are at right now. This is the big, big moment. And this is probably going to dictate a lot of our future, where we are at right here, right now. And we're exactly where we should be. Now, the thing is, can we see the United States stock market broaden out? Can we see, silly as it is, things like ARK take off? In the event of that happening, that is a extremely optimistic sign that we would be looking for. Otherwise, of course, as we get back here and we look at these things, we say, oh boy, yeah boy. But we need to see some broadening out happen and it not be so consolidated into things like NVIDIA and Microsoft and things like that, but to see it really, really broaden out. So as we go into the coming days and the coming weeks, I do believe that's the thing to keep the eye on whether or not we're going to get escape velocity here. And if we get escape velocity, what a good time ahead. What a good time. Bitcoiners, you may get lucky and get 100 or 200%. Altcoiners, you'll have a much better chance at, that 1,000%, 2,000%, stuff like that. So, but this, of course, has to get through first, and there is that worry of the stock market. So keep an eye on that for broadening out and expansion to happen in the stock market, for something like that to happen, because currently, right now, we don't have it. So, all right. Altcoin market, obviously very green. Who are our winners today? Our winners are SHIB, Doge, Solana, Litecoin, Cardano, Mana, Dash, XEM, EOS, Casper, AVAX, Filecoin, everything over 5%, right? So what a good day. And then XRP, you're back above 60. So rock and roll. Keep an eye on those retracement levels. Anything else to cover? I don't think there's anything on XRP. I know we talk about it every day. Everything's looking fine. Oh, huge wick, man. So I had rotated a very tiny amount of Ethereum. About 8% of my Ethereum got rotated in here a couple of days ago. And then I had taken some of my Bitcoin profits and put it in there too. When that wick happened yesterday, I got within 0.003 of getting that thing stopped. Fortunately, it did not. But boy, close one over there yesterday. There you go. Looking good over here for XRP. Looking for the breakout in total. For that would likely be it. And like I've always said, and I know we want to attach narratives to it. I know we want it to be this or that. It tends to go with the market. The fortunate thing is you definitely have a similar setup here to what we've had before. We spent a whole year and a half in Wyckoff accumulation happening in here with escaping and now back testing here. This is the moment where you go in to expand it, you go into market up, and that typically happens only with the market. So optimistic so far, but definitely this is our big boy to pay attention to right now. All right. U.S. stock market, one quick peek over here. Dow up 52, NASDAQ up 122, gold at 2,049. So again, one thing you'd be looking for if we were having expansion in the United States stock market, if we were seeing an equity bull run happening in the stock market, is we would want to be seeing gold falling, and we don't see that, right? So again, another thing to be like, hey, this is not similar to our expansions. In our expansions, we get these breaks down. The breakdown is actually happening in here in these expansions, right? So this is like 2013 Bitcoin bull run. Boom, gold breaks down. Or you go to the 2016-17, boom, gold breaks down. You go down to the 2020 and 21, boom, gold breaks down, right? So sitting up right in here, paying attention to gold. I've written all about this as well. There's a direct correlation or an inverse correlation that happens between the equity markets and between expansions and between gold and Bitcoin. And so this is one thing to keep your eye on. Still, it is not showing any signs of weakness yet here for gold. U.S. dollar currency index, 103.77. There you go. Still just sitting down there waiting on that. We'll move on over to financial news happening out there. A little noticed inflation report in the past could get a lot of market attention on Thursday. I have not had time to check out economic data this morning. So if any news has been released in regards to economic data, I'll take a quick peek on my other screen, see if I can see anything. I think there was supposed to be some type of inflation data come out today. PCE, Met, jobless claims, slight, but not slightly above, but not much. PCE price index met. Personal income up. Personal spending met. Nothing alarming, I don't think, unless I'm missing it in a quick little thing. Newly listed Birkenstock beats revenue expectations on higher pricing. U.S. demand. Salesforce beats on earnings, but forecasts single-digit revenue growth for the year. Moving over to Bloomberg. China bans high-frequency trader as quant crackdown expands. Ukraine sees risk of Russia breaking through defenses by the summer. Okay. Okay. All right, moving over to crypto news. First, Cointelegraph. Bitcoin Layer 2 staking offers a superior alternative to interest rates. Spot Bitcoin ETF volumes shatter record with massive $7.7 billion traded. Bitcoin price hits $64,000 as traders anticipate new all-time high before the halving. How digital yuan could change the world, for better or worse. Bitcoin Layer 2 staking offers a superior alternative to interest rates. Shido token plummets 94% as exploiter drains Ethereum staking contract. Matrix Port warns of market euphoria correction after Bitcoin's $60,000 milestone. Sam Bankman-Fried's brother, his life would be wasted in prison. That's typically what happens. Solana eyes $600 target in upcoming crypto surge. Bitcoin rallies to 2-year high, but derivatives traders not betting on further gains. Bitcoin price at 64K as traders anticipate new all-time high before the halving. All right, Bitcoin rallies to a 2-year high, but derivatives traders are not betting on further gains. Bitcoin price is 64 as traders anticipate new all-time high. Okay. Morgan Stanley evaluating spot Bitcoin ETFs for its giant brokerage platform. Sources. Since spot Bitcoin ETFs went live in January, chatter has increased about the imminent arrival of the big registered investment advisor, RIA, networks, and broker-dealer platform. Dogecoin bullish bets reach record 1 billion. The tokens were up over 40% in the last 24 hours, continuing a rally as a beta bet on the blockchains they are based upon. There we go. There's your Litecoin. There's your Litecoin. It's been stuck there since August, getting its break as well. Seeing some movement happening over there in the market. And your Dogecoin up 10% as well. So positive day over there in the crypto market as we get things going. Again, pivotal location over there for the total market cap of where we're at. And in relation to where Bitcoin is at, big moment. And if history is any type of guide, and we have been here before, the critical thing is to have expansion over there in the stock market. First element, of course, we do have the Dow Jones in the all-time high. It has been 79 days, I think, which is the longest it's ever taken for Bitcoin to follow along with the stock market. And it may have to do with there has not been any broadening out or opening up over there in the market. It has been very consolidated into a few stocks. So hopefully we do see that breadth open up, but something to pay attention to as we are at a super critical level here for the entire market in general. So on that note, that's my 27-minute monologue. I'll go ahead and hop into the chat, and then we will get on our way for our Thursday. John O'Connor says, BCB, the dopamine is pumping as I watch this unfold. We need some measured words from your good self to bring us back down to earth. XRP, baby. Yeah. I own several of these, right? Like I got, when I get to the point, like, it's all percentages for me. It's all math for me, and numbers for me. These don't get me too excited. It's something, but at the same time, I do have a good job at it. Hey, let me bring you back down to earth real quick. Hey, look where we're at. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of where we are. It's the narrative out there is everything is great. Maybe it will be, but we definitely have been here before. But there certainly are elements that are different out there that the broader markets are screaming in regards to gold, in regards to the stock market and expansion in the market. So hopefully those things can clear themselves up a little bit, because they were very clear. Those elements were all very clear in 2013 bull run for Bitcoin, 2017 bull run for Bitcoin, and 2020-21 bull run for Bitcoin. All those expansions and gold and stock markets and liquidity, very, very clear. Very, very clear. What's happening now is very, very different from those time periods. So hopefully we can see things like ARK and low caps, mid caps all start to play along, and this not be just the NVIDIA show, and that we can show a little bit of health in the remainder of the markets, which would lead to expansion and things broadening out. So that's kind of what we're waiting on, and hopefully we get it. John, thank you, sir. Code 9 gifted a BCB membership. Brother, thank you, Code 9. I feel like it's been a little while, man. Crypto for Sweden. BCB, I'm not sure if I have enough XRP. Algo, I better buy some more. Okay. If it must be something wrong with Twitter, because I don't see you on my follower list. I don't know, man. My account's not private or anything. Joseph Edwards. Thank you, Noman. Joseph Edwards. Hey, BCB, do you have a new course called Exit Strategy? No, that one's from 4 years ago. I've been trying to purchase it, but your website says it's unavailable. Thanks for providing us with your knowledge. No, this one right here is a technical analysis toolkit for crypto, just $39. This is the one that is available. Yep. Let me see. I've been trying to get it, but it says unavailable. Thanks for providing us with your knowledge. Thank you very much, Joseph. No, that's the one that's out there. Giorgio Ardamas. Hey, BCB, do you think we could be doing the same thing Bitcoin and ETH did in December of 2016 to March of 2017? ETH breaks new highs after Bitcoin's second failed attempt. Right. So again, that's going to be that question of, is Bitcoin going to a new all-time high? I get it. Everybody has created the story that we are going to new all-time highs. I'm going to refrain from that right now because of the other elements in the market. Again, the altcoin market is truly where all my shots are being taken. That's where all my shots are taken, is over there in the altcoin market. I'm going to leave it to a lot of other people on Bitcoin. Right now, like, again, I just have to reiterate, like, everybody does go to the idea that this is the start of a new cycle, and there is just this chance there's not. And we are right here. And so if we can get through here, great. As for like what has happened, if you are a bull of Bitcoin's going to a new all-time high, and that it's going to rally, right? In each example, like, here's what you have happen when you get back to the all-time high back in 2000 and 2016 and 17. The reason why that's also a decent thing to look at in here. I have too many things here. We're going to have to get rid of some of this so I can see. Okay. Right. So during the bear, right, the reason we were able to get the bottom is being able to recognize this is the top of the market. So if you just saw me just a minute ago and it's your first time seeing it, if we're like, hey, we're starting the top from over here rather than from over here, you haven't been tuning in for the last 2 years, but to know that this was the peak of our market. It's all on the on-chain indicators. It's all on the monthly indicators. You can, without question, see it. Like, if I just kind of close all this out right here, and we just look at these oscillations that are happening here in the market, you could see that this is the peak of the market, right? You can see this is the peak of the market. You could see that this is the peak of the market, and then it falls, right? And then this is the peak of the market, and it falls. And then we can just kind of open this up a little bit. We can still see that. This is where everything falls apart. This is where everything falls apart. This is where everything falls apart, where everything falls apart. We can go back and just kind of mark them. We can clearly see the peak of the market was back during laser eyes and diamond hands, right? And that's why we didn't get some big, huge extension of craziness happening in the market after that, and why this market ended up being dismal beyond that, because we could see that correction. And this is what we watched throughout all of 2022. Boom, when the FTX collapse came in, it pinpoint nailed it happening in there, and now we've been marching our way back up, right? So even if it isn't following that, which we followed this for a long time, right? I would say this is a little different now, due to no backtesting happening, correct? What did it do? Your question is, will it waffle around at the top for a long time? It's where your challenges are going to be in on, are you going to treat tops should have been higher? Does it need to exceed this level and waddle around in there? Maybe if you look back to here, this is where it is. I would say the confluence more of like ignoring like fractals of that type of behavior is really what I've kind of talked about already, in that what we have seen is we have seen Bitcoin get to these levels where it gets through the last retracement level in here, where at the exact same time, we have total get back to the 702 Fibonacci retracement level, right? And then the breakouts persisted from there, right? That's the thing I'd be watching for. That's the thing I am watching for, right? And whether or not we can get through there, or if there's a warning sign being issued over there by the lack of expansion in the market. Again, every bull run for Bitcoin has been accompanied by expansion. We still haven't seen it there in the stock market. Doesn't mean it's not going to show up, but it's definitely not there right now. So hopefully maybe it just, the switch gets flipped and then, you see expansion or something. But typically, just to understand, in last bull runs, in both the 2017 and in the 2021 bull runs for the cryptocurrency market, expansion was taking place the second the Dow Jones got into a new all-time high. We already saw expansion. So like to understand, like it was not this bull run here that happens in here, and this bull run that happens right in here. Immediately upon the break of the new all-time high for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, expansion started right away throughout the whole stock market, and that's also right when Bitcoin goes into its all-time highs. We are 79 days removed from the Dow breaking out into an all-time high and don't have expansion happening in the stock market. It's very consolidated. So that's just the element that is missing. So the thing to be keeping the eyes on, can we see expansion now start? Because typically we actually see expansion either start exactly at the same time as the Dow, or the expansion actually starts before the Dow. The 2013, the 2017, the 2021 bull runs were all accompanied by expansion in the United States stock market. And that expansion actually in 2013 started before the Dow broke out into the all-time high. And then in 2017 and 21, the expansion started the exact same day that the Dow broke into the new all-time high. However, we're 79 days into a Dow new all-time high with no expansion. So hopefully we get it, right? Okay. That's where we're at. Thank you, Giorgio. Aramis, member for 1 month. Thank you for everything, BCB. Thank you very much. Travis Hutchinson. Thank you. No message, but thank you. Angela. Is there an altcoin that has not started moving and is down? Is it most likely not going to run? I wouldn't say if it's down, it's most likely not going to run, but it begs the question on, will the percentages be much, right? Typically your big leaders are good signs. Those are usually good signs, big leaders. But, whether or not, I think in the ranges that we saw in 2021, like your worst performers from so I've written a whole thing on this, right? Let's see if here we go. Decoding altcoin performance. I kind of going through it right here. And in this thing, we go through and we compare what were the top 20 development activity coins heading into the 2021 bull run, essentially starting it right here at literally in here. I think we started on December 10th. So we kind of pick the dates of being right there. So, all right, December 10th. Who are the top 20 development activity coins? And then who are the top 20 by market cap? And then we go to battle and we say, who wins, right? Who wins the bull run? The development activity coins absolutely slaughtered the top 20 by market cap. And actually Bitcoin came in rank out of top 20 in the development activity group. Bitcoin came in 20th place last. And then in the top 20 by market cap, I believe Bitcoin came in 19th place. So when I sit here and talk about, hey, I'm just not that interested in Bitcoin, I get it that there's so much romance about Bitcoin. I've done the studies. I've done the math. Everything I do is data oriented. Nothing is sitting here being just some random crap. It's all done on data. And so just Bitcoin's just not of interest to me. If Bitcoin breaks out, it's fantastic. But these types of numbers, we don't see 19s, we don't see 20s, we don't see 15s, and you don't see back-to-backs of those in Bitcoin. You see that everywhere else. But anyway, when we went through and we do the top 20, right? Your median, so you have an average, right? From this moment forward to how did the whole altcoin market perform later, right? if you take the whole top 20 by market cap, what was the average returns of those assets from this moment from here? The average returns was 742% for the top 20 by market cap, right? So your Bitcoins, Ethereums, XRPs, everything from this particular moment to the respective tops, the average return was 742%. I believe Bitcoin was like 300, only 300%. So it was one of the bottom tier performers from that time. Maybe it was only 250% from that point, right? Hey, we can just do the math here right now on the screen. $250, yeah. And so the average return for the top 20 by market cap, each individual coin was, the average return was 742, and the average return for Bitcoin was 250. And so, but your range in there, Bitcoin in the top 20 by development activity, the top 20 by development activity, their average returns from this particular moment to the respective tops was 2001%. So the average return of the top development activity coins from this point was 20x versus the top 20 by market cap, which was a 7x, right? And you had the variations all over the place. And the difference between the development activity, like if you know what a median is, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. I have 5 numbers in here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What the heck number did I write here? 7, 7. What did I do here? We're going to modify that and make it an 8. Whatever that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to get rid of that in the last one. Now we have 10 numbers to make life easy for us, right? What is the average of those right in there? Right? The average is 4.8, right? What is the median? The median is right here in the middle, right? So it's actually 6.5. Sometimes we can make life easier if you use an odd number. We put another 9 here. Our median's right here in the middle. So your median's always like right there in the middle. Above and below, what's the median? So the median for the top 20, so the average for the top 20 by market cap was 742% with a median of 450%. So half, right? Half performed better than the median, and then the other half performed below the median of 450. They had an average of 742, right? So you had like BNB, and you had like Ethereum. Those ones kind of hold up the whole set for their averages. But you also had things pulling it down too. But you did have a couple of hitters, right? And that's one thing we talked about in 2021. The average was 2 out of 10 were the ones that really saved. If you had 10 assets, you're lucky if you had 2 out of 10 do anything huge. Now, as for the top 20 by development activity, right, their average returns was 2001% from this moment in time, and their median was 850, right? So 1/2 of them performed better than 850%, and 1/2 of them performed below 850%. So whether or not you're leading, I don't know if that answers. I don't know why I went on that data spill. I figured that was just important information for everybody. But you'll be all over the place, right? And expecting that you can have a very big wide variety of what the returns can actually end up being. For me, it's all about throwing it at the dart, throwing the dart at the dartboard, hitting the balloons that have the higher probabilities based on previous data sets. So that's the data sets that I go with. And that how I've structured everything primarily, for me at least. Over half my portfolio is extremely focused on high development activity. But as for leaders and laggards, you can see them take off tremendously just from some various aspect or various thing in the market. But it doesn't, I would say more likely than not, if it's taking a long time to do anything, usually not the best sign, right? but not like 100% hit rate on it. Like if it's taken a long time, it could just fire. It could just fire off. You never the crypto market, the animal spirits of crypto are very, very interesting. And a lot of people who maybe came into the market late in 2021, essentially, right? Like think about it this way: if you came into this market after Elon Musk bought Bitcoin, you've never experienced an alt season. I mean, a little bit. But you're just on the tail end of everything, right? You haven't been since the points where you've seen those 2,000% from here. We're not even talking about from down here, right? We're talking about from here, 2,000% happening in those assets. The animal spirits of crypto, if they do kick in, it can be absolutely insane. Almost unimaginable. You don't know how it's happening. You don't know how it's going up so fast, and it becomes a feeding frenzy of craziness. And it reminds me, I always reflect back on what it was like at the end of 2017 when it was like this big battle between Tron and Verge. I'll never forget it. Like Tron pumps 500% and stops, and then Verge pumps 500% and stops, and then Tron pumps 500% and stops, and then Verge goes 500% and stops, and the craziness that all of that entails. And then, of course, maybe many of you, if you were here before Doge, right, watching Doge happen live was, of course, a lot of fun. But most people come in at the tail end, right? That's where it really gets mainstream media attention. But watching that happen live, that was surely nuts. But yeah, things can be lagged behind and eventually go. But it'd be interesting. What it would be interesting to do a data analysis on it, on like the lack of time, right? If it's taken this much time, what are the probabilities now, right? I would say usually if it's taking a long time, it's probably odds go down. Anyway, hope you guys like that data on market caps and development activity and stuff. Again, there's all that over here. Okay. Pat, my dude. Pat gifted 20 memberships. Pat, sir, thank you. My brother. Man, we still have 4,200 people in here. We have 1,200 likes. If you guys could hit the like button, I appreciate it. Travis Hutchinson, in your experience, do exchanges fill limit orders when they're down? I believe so. Code 9. Yeah, right. So that was a good example, right? Like if you have kind of having your different exchange. I think this is probably a good reminder for everybody, right? If you don't have multiple exchanges ready to go, might be a good time to brush off those old passwords you got over there. Check out that KYC. Get yourself kind of set up and prepared, because if you're totally dependent on Coinbase, what you saw yesterday happens a lot. Extreme high volatility, extreme high volume. I don't know. Can anybody count how many times that has happened that you know of? I don't know. 10 times, I think, 20. Want to catch the perfect dip? Sorry, we're down. You can't. Want to sell the peak? Sorry, we're down. You can't. Code 9, thank you very much. Gifted a membership. CP Nasty, run a fib on Bitcoin USD from peak of 2017 to the bear of 2018. We haven't hit the 4.236 to date. Each fib is precise support and resistance. What are your thoughts on it coming to reach the 4.236 on the USD? Right, I have no opinion on that. Right, but we saw the market cap hit it. Right, there's been inflation with it. We saw the market cap actually end up hitting it. Right, and so that's one thing too. Like right here, right. Look at this. What do you have? You have the total market cap getting right there. Where's Bitcoin's market cap? Right, it's probably buttoned up much closer to the all-time high than we think. Right, very close to the all-time high for the market cap, right? And so that's probably what we're waiting on, is that the all-time high break would actually happen earlier than people would actually recognize. To be looking at the price of actual Bitcoin and thinking, oh, it's almost in a new all-time high, but it may actually already be there. Because the market cap has been the determining factor on it. I get it. Everybody's going to want to speculate, where's the next top? Maybe it's a 4.236 extension based on 2017. I will let you guys all speculate on that. I don't have any interest in Bitcoin. And that is not to be offensive. That is data oriented. That like I just showed, and there's a reason why I went through that whole development activity talk, that market cap talk, and to understand and justify, so you understand why it is that I'm not focusing on Bitcoin as my primary bags or primary holdings. And it's because I'm not interested in 200%. If the market is going to take off, I'm not interested in it. There's a massive, massive difference between what happens to a portfolio with a 10x versus a 2x. There's just a huge difference that happens there. And that is why it's my other focus. So if it gets out, it gets out. That's absolutely wonderful. But still, my primary focus is going to be the altcoin market and figuring out if there's any type of distribution happening there in Bitcoin. And if there's any type of leading indicator of the altcoin market continuing to push its way out in a circumstance like this, right? Where we see distribution happening and the altcoin market is pushing further. We've seen this marker happen 2 times before. I'm going to be looking for it intensely, in which we see that and then just screaming, that was it. I get it. Crypto Twitter is probably not going to believe me that day when that comes, but I'll do it anyway. So right now, again, is the critical moment of where we are at with the total market gap, and that it is back at the retracement level. This is the sticky zone. This is the one that can be the determining factor on whether or not this is going to end up being truly something big at all, or if we're actually right at a problem spot, right? So hopefully we get out of here, but this is the big watch right there. And so my bet is, if we can get through here, we have a nice, exciting little future ahead of us. But if not, we may have just had the warning signs the whole time. So keep our eyes on this. This is where you would get me much more relaxed. You'd get me much more relaxed upon if there was a break here in the total market cap. Not only just because 702, we get it, BCB, it's your number. We have seen this. This has been the behavior before. This is exactly what happened in 2020, where Bitcoin gets back to these levels, the total market cap gets back to these levels. We get through here, and then it just sends everything skyrocketing afterwards if you're able to get through. So should that happen, hip, hip, hooray. Unfortunately, there's some setups in there giving a favorable look to that. I keep harping on it, and it sounds like a broken record just because it's true and it's data backed. There's no expansion in the stock market, and that is bizarre. That is bizarre. And a lot of times what people love to do is to lean back on a narrative and say, well, that's because this time is different. Bitcoin ETFs. And that is always the thing that happens, is that we lean back on a narrative, and that's okay. But that's not how I do things. I don't come onto this channel to speculate on narratives. I come here and try to give you data and say, here's why. So watch out for the big level that we're at. As for XRP, you look like you're doing something. What you doing? You can do something. All right, we'll get over here. Brian McSweeney. Best of luck, guys. Hope you all smash it in the next few weeks. Thanks for everything, BCB. I held through all of 2022 and 2023 because of you. You are an absolute rock. I'm so glad, Brian. Crypto Twitter doesn't know that about me. Crypto Twitter thinks I've been a bear. Gamed out. The XRP Bitcoin chart indicates that previous bull runs have been preceded by a bottom in XRP. Well, I expect that, but I was shocked to see that these bottoms are 50% lower than we are today. Thoughts? Okay, so I think you're saying previous bull runs in Bitcoin have been preceded by a bottom in XRP Bitcoin. I expected that, but I was shocked to see that these bottoms are 50% lower than we are today. No, I don't have any thoughts. Right? Oh, is that a question of hey, does the XRP Bitcoin price chart have to go lower? I don't think so. If anything, this would be the perfect location for it to be the bottom. All right, Bread Garlic House says, I'm getting ready to dump some ripples. Be prepared, boys. B, hit the like button, everybody. Thank you very much, B. Brandon Grinstead says, what do you think about higher time frame indicators in total too? Right, so this is, again, these were things that like people don't know we were here at the bottom. We have the rollover of all the monthly stuff, right? Higher time frame indicators, they look solid, right? This is what you want, right? Like, look at that. I mean, that's what you want. There's no question. We're just there, right? You want to see stochastic just jam-packed, raging to the upside. Monthly, you got the RSI. What are you getting into? Heading into just Rage Town City, right? Where's a bear market level? Where's a bull market level? We talked about this all throughout the bear. You guys believe it, right? What's the level you want to hold down there to stay in a bull? 40. Right? Remember, who was here during that time, right? Going through all of that. We need to hold 40 monthly time frame, holding 40. Boom, we got it. Now where's the bear level? The bear level and bear level resistance is 60, right? Boom, you threw it, right? That's where we were back in December, where we are in January. Boom, February, breakout happening over there, right? So that's entering into bullish. So higher time frame, looking pretty dandy, right? There you go. Total 3. Same story. Roll up, raging stochastic through 60 over there on total 3. So large time frame indicators do look great. So there's just a couple of missing elements here. The biggest thing to lay the guard down of like this thing is raging would be a break on total. If we at least go based on historical performance and historical behavior, a break upon here with Bitcoin here, we likely see both events occurring simultaneously, right? Again, the place that historically has been where the vast majority of the returns have been in Bitcoin. Have been, somebody's going to sound clip that, have been in the altcoin market significantly. Bitcoin typically is, like I just talked about, in the top 20 by development activity of 2020 was the literal worst performer. And even, so for example, for those who don't know, that moment in time we're talking about with, do I still have the lines on it, where we said right here, yes, even EOS performed better. Right. So it was even better than Bitcoin from that moment. So, you've got, the altcoin market is the place to be. If you don't know the math on that, you're going to be chasing it later. Do your research, do your stuff, figure your stuff out. What do you want to do? But the first thing element, this is the big money. This is the big mamma jamma. We're at it right now. If we would to break that, I would assume it would be Bitcoin breaking and that at the same time. Again, I reiterated, I'm a freaking broken record. There's a missing element of expansion in the market, so it's hard to lay the guard down entirely right here because that needs to break. It needs to break. But higher time frame indicators raging on the market caps. Okay, I don't think it's getting talked about enough that XRP has regulatory clarity. Wouldn't this be huge upside for developers? Jack, it gets talked about all the time, Jack, that it has regulatory clarity. I know we want to talk about it, but it is, right. I mean, it's the only one that's been ruled in the court of law. But if that was the determining factor in the moment, right, it may be. You never know what the narrative will be. When price gets moving, the narrative will be there. Whatever it is, there will be something. There always is something, and we're primed for some news too. Bring the news on. So bring it, Alanic. Eric, hey, these are lifetime viewer thoughts on the Russell 2000 up 2% today, about to break previous high. Good sign of strength, showing breadth of market. Well, it's still sitting 50% below. It's below the all-time high, right? So we have a long ways to go on that. But yeah, that's something we're looking for. But it's not. We need like 20%. We need a big one. Snowman, do you think Wall Street's cash flow will change the stocks to Bitcoin correlation? Crypto laws passing just around doomtown for the stock market. Big fan. Again, I'm the data guy. Anything I show you on here, there's a reason why I show you the data for it. To say this time is different due to some story, that's just not going to get, you're just not going to get that out of me, right? I'm going to show you data and say, here's why this is concerning, or here's why this is exciting, or here's why I believe that I'm going to really focus on the altcoin market rather than focusing on Bitcoin because of historical performance. And here's the data to prove it. That level of speculating on what do I think of Wall Street's cash flow, how it will change with stocks to Bitcoin correlation, with crypto laws being passed just around doomtown for the stock market. Man, like I can't draw something from that and say, here is my investment thesis on it because of that. But again, there's a lot of romance stories with crypto, right? Like one of them is the Bitcoin block reward halving. All the evidence out there suggests the Bitcoin block reward halving may be a good romance narrative, but it certainly hasn't been the reason why Bitcoin breaks out in the cyclical. Am I saying that? Cyclical behavior that it does. It has very much 2013, 2017, 2021 bull runs all been tied to expansionary periods in markets. All of them. Not with the block reward halving. So I think there's a lot of romance to say, Wall Street completely crumbles, the stock market completely crumbles, and Bitcoin goes up with it. Except the problem is that every single one of Bitcoin's bull runs have been literally breaking out nearly identical times as the expansionary periods of the stock market have unfolded. And then when the stock markets all cool off, so has Bitcoin. So that's the challenge. To think that, it's going to, the markets are going to crumble and this will rise from the ashes because of the story, because that's just not how it has behaved. So, yeah. Thank you, Solomon. Sebastian, could Bitcoin ETF sucked portions of what would have gone into altcoins, leading to Bitcoin higher, altcoins lower than 702? Total market cap shows real story. Boy, there's a lot. This is a lot of fear. Very normal fear. That essentially FOMO. So FOMO can do a lot of different emotions, and FOMO can many times just lead to fear. You see some person post some random idea, and you try to find a way to justify the FOMO and say, "Oh, that logically makes a lot of sense." There's no precedent to say that would happen. Everybody still owns their spot Bitcoins. Essentially, all the spot Bitcoins would have to be sucked out of the universe, and nobody would have any of them to be able to sell on exchanges and swap into altcoins. And look at what the altcoins are doing today. Are they acting in any manner as if they cannot move? If Bitcoin did a 10%, 11%, 13%, 22% move in a single candle in a single day, the world would absolutely erupt into euphoria. You just don't get that same dopamine jam into your face when you get these over there on Twitter. So it's being mindful of all the dopamine that is happening and all the emotions. And there's studies on it with markets and how your brain really does release a lot of drugs into itself in these types of environments, whether they're good, they're bad, moments of craziness, and just kind of really, chilling out. Right. And that thing in the last 24 hours of people running around, Bitcoin, it's the ETFs, the altcoins aren't going to run. It's only going to be Bitcoin. Everybody run to Bitcoin. All right. It's, yeah. I'm going to give it an extremely hard no. Extremely hard no. Backholder, do you have any thoughts on UST dominance chart and the trend line? I don't do trend lines on this channel. I don't know if you know, if you've probably never paid attention here, we don't do trend lines on here. At least not often. I don't remember the last time we like. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes I goof off with TXMC. We like the ultimate trend line, the diagonal line of doom, but it's always a joke. You know, in an event where the market is rising like this, we should be seeing USDT dominance falling. There you go. So you should be seeing USDT dominance falling. The capital is, we're seeing market caps of the remainder of the market rise. So these are positive things to be occurring. But thoughts on like a trend line of them? No. Trend lines, and especially diagonal trend lines, which is what a trend line is. Otherwise, it's just a price level, right? This isn't a trend line. This is just a level. A trend line will always be diagonal. A trend line is always meant to be broken. Every time. Gino, some reason that with the stock market at full extension, it could be that Bitcoin crypto is seen as a hedge or a destination to rotate into. ETFs got approved right before those highs. What are your thoughts? Yeah, so I would actually argue differently. I would actually, rather than it being people rotating, we're in peak euphoria. We're in peak risk taking. Right. That would make way more sense to me. You're actually in peak risk taking, guaranteed everybody believes it's guaranteed that we're going to keep going up. We're in euphoria. We're in excitement that it's not actually a rotation from stocks. It's just a euphoric moment of extreme risk. Brobus. No, I don't know who that is. Thank you, though. Crypto Rico, new member. Welcome, Crypto Rico. Christopher Man 1, member for 8 months. Hey, BCB, are we closing the monthly candle? What's your opinion on Bitcoin entering the 7 month after 6 green monthly candles? Is there something to worry about? Number of actual candles, not so much to me. I think that the bigger story is just the location of where you're at currently right now with all this stuff. And that, like we talked about really through the primary part of this video. All of that. Dave's guy, with the total market cap comparison that you showed earlier, if it doesn't break through 702, can we still see Bitcoin distribution and total 3 retrace? Yeah, I would expect that. I would pray we don't see Goblin Town from there. You would think it would be similar behavior of what we typically see. Distribution, and then watching for the retraces, and then watching for the same thing that we continue to see during distribution phases. Total 3 has another leg while Bitcoin's still distributing. That's what we would look for. That's what I will be looking for. Oh, boy. Come and see Jesus says, hey, BCB, what's the most reliable chart hat? A market cap. Thank you, sir. And Mally86, I almost vomited when I saw Coinbase at 0 from 50K. Yeah. That was fun. Oh, yeah, if you haven't, probably if that's your first time to go through Coinbase, just being like, nope, sorry, all your money. That is, I think, the first time where it's been like, hey, you have all your money is gone. Like, oh, God. Sam, considering Fed rate cuts, would you not think that we could get an expansion in the stock market with no cuts? Could favor this? Thank you. So the example we could look back to of where the last time we had a hiking cycle was very similar to what we are in right now. And that's where you throw on. In here, right? Where we did the same kind of thing where, you escape, the Dow escapes on an elevated Fed funds. And there's no expansion in the market. no expansion occurs here in the market. Yeah. All right. Dasberg says, I need XRP to Moon because I just got fired from my job for stealing brake fluid. But I told them I could stop at any time. Joshua, thank you, Das. Joshua Vergata says, hypothetically, if you were dumb enough to use Celsius and you just got your settlement back, where would you stick it in the next few days to try and recoup the massive losses? I'm asking for a friend. Dude, just the idea that you're saying in the next few days. Like, that's where we're at in the market. We are in, hey, how do I recoup all my everything in the next couple of days? We're there. The animal spirits are alive. Yeah, you know, you're looking for trade calls. You're looking for everything. All right, here, T, you got me, brother. Okay, I'll see what T is writing me. You know, you got to pick something that you're going to be comfortable in. You know, I've showed you all the development activity stuff. You can go check out Santiment, go check out Developer Report, get yourself brushed up on the market, and then, you know, just stick it where you think you feel comfortable, right? And then, you know, of course, we're still paying attention to all of this stuff right in here of where we're currently at right now. But, you know, this isn't a winner-take-all market. And that's always the story with Bitcoin and Bitcoiners, is that Bitcoin is the winner-take-all. It's never like that. But they do it every cycle. And you have to realize I've been through several of these things, several of these environments. That's why when we go through the bottom, not scared, spicy, all that stuff, been through it before. Been through it multiple times over. And when we go up, it's always the story of Bitcoin only. It's just, it happens every single time. But the reality is, even in the altcoin market, it's not a winner-take-all market. No matter what anybody wants to do and preach and chill and how they want to make it seem, it's not a winner-take-all market. And all the data proves it. Again, the development activity coins, you go through all of them. The median of 850 in 2021, right? So, you know, do your research and, you know, take your gambles on how you want to. Half my portfolio is in high development activity coins. And I don't have the expectation that all of them will be above the median, right? I have to expect that whatever the median does end up being, half of them will be above that and half of them will be below. Hopefully I've made the right choices and allocations, and then I get a couple of the grand slams, not just a couple of homers, but a couple grand slams, but also expecting that a couple of them are only going to be singles and doubles, right? Ballistic Waffle, member for 4 months. Portfolio finally ticked over to the green today. I got emotional and bought XRP after the lawsuit. You live and you learn. Thanks for all that you do. Thank you very much, Ballistic, member for 4 months. Okay, I believe I missed one. According to T, who's the man, thank you. Hey, BCB, I wanted to give you a big thanks for all that you do. All of us holding over the last 3+ years. If it wasn't for your guidance and wisdom, I wouldn't be here. Ignore the haters and trolls. You are the GOAT, my dude. Aiden, my brother, thank you for the very, very kind comment. I don't think the haters and trolls just know that we show up every day. And, you know, the thing I've always learned is people always come around. Once they just hear me talk and like, hey, here's the justifications, here's the reasoning, a lot of it calms down. But during extremely high emotional moments, like we're in extreme greed right now in the market, whether we're in extreme fear, right, which we go through. Remember, we got stuck in extreme fear for like 5 months. Whether we're in extreme fear, it's the same stuff, right? And you know what? I can handle the haters and all that stuff when we're in extreme greed. Like, I get it. It's like at its worst right now. But I'd much rather it be in that type of environment than when we have to go through these, because these are long, these are brutal, these are painful, but we still show up every day to get through them. And you know, moments like this, you know, let's go. Let's roll. Altcoins are going to win. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. All right. Aiden, thanks. Crypto Rico, hey BCB, Bitcoin price action looks like it was fueled by liquidations caused by a news narrative one day before the 702 breakout, calling for a correction. Now JP Morgan are calling for a crash to 43K in April after the halving. Capitulation before rate cuts. Everybody's looking for we talked about it. Bitcoin has had no back tests in this ride up in here, right? So this is a pretty big move. But the question is, does it have escape velocity? And I'm really not concerned about if Bitcoin can back test. I would rather see total get through, and I'd rather see Bitcoin just keep going in order to get that break to send these guys with the big numbers, right? Right, to see the spread out everywhere, right? Like we got lots of 5s, lots of 6s. Remember, 5 and 6. That's what sends crypto Twitter euphoric for Bitcoin, right? You just saw it the other days, right? 5%. You're not going to get that with the altcoin market of complete euphoria. But I'm the math guy. I'm like, I know this is the place to be. You're the 21%, the 12%, the 10%, 10. That's going to be in the altcoin market. It's very rare you're going to see days like that, and there's very few and far and in between for Bitcoin to get those. But we get those quite frequently in the altcoin market. But whether Bitcoin backtests or not, I'm going to kind of leave other people to make their speculations on it. The thing I'm watching right here, right now, is what's going to happen at this retracement level. I will cheer all day for Bitcoin to get through. Just because I'd like to see that break. I'd like to see that get through, and we just send this thing to Valhalla, whatever. Bakamed TV, thank you very much. No message, but thank you. Crypto Keeper, RNDR is up 2,800%. Solana is up 1,600%. Meanwhile, we get excited about 3% in XRP. We're so starved for action. I'm cracking, BCB. I'm cracking. Yeah, well, we got the Solana run here. I think I posted the video the other day, reminding you, nobody we bought during all of this stuff, and Solana is, that's the thing. But Solana got wrecked, right? So Solana got pulled down 97% or something like that. So a return to mean was a really nice big run back. Now the question is, can you go into escape velocity of bull and turn it into more than just retracement levels, right? So hopefully we get it, and from here on out, rock and roll. Dutch Crypto 873. Hey BCB, I joined late. Maybe you already discussed it. I'm fearing that alt season after Bitcoin might not come if liquidity only comes from the institutions to the ETF and they're unable to roll towards alts. Thoughts? So here's the deal. A lot of you guys realize you all are having this exact same fear together? It's all tied to FOMO. It is. People sitting in their altcoins, they see Bitcoin, they see all the Bitcoin stuff on Twitter, and they're like, it's gonna go. Oh man, no. I'll say it with a very hard no. Definitely not. That won't happen. Look at what's happening over there on the right side of the screen right now. If this thing goes, it's altcoin bazooka season. If we can get through there. Bazooka season. Hey, BCB, update on XRP compared to the rest of the crypto chart. Yeah, it's gone all the way back up. So let's take a look at it. What do you got? XRP total. No. Total over XRP. There you go. That's what you got. Big fat range. You got through your 200 week moving average, I think, even, and then now back above it. So, no signal from there, which we were hoping there was. There was not. Now, whether or not we can get our escape or risky to happen here. BP. Oh, wait, I skipped one. Backman TV. When we do fibs on the real top 15 May 2021 on total market cap, then we are passing the 786. Possible thinking. Greets from Australia. I know what you're saying. We get asked that a lot. Very difficult to speculate on that, right? Saying, hey, how about over here rather than over here? Ironically, like even from this marker right here, like if we got through there, we're probably going to see Bitcoin getting through the all-time high in the market cap. Your question pertains more to total. Right, the peak of all indicators and on chain is here, but still difficult. I mean, I'll pray with you. I'll pray with you that it's already through. So his question is, since we've already been, we know that all the technical indicators indicate this is the top of the market. Everything on chain, everything from retail euphoria, everything from technical indicators on extremely large time frames indicate this was the peak of the market, right? This is the top. This is a distribution, right? Yes, it goes a little bit higher for those who haven't been here before. Typically, we don't have that style. Usually it's just euphoric all the way to the top, and then everything falls apart. But it's as if this particular rally right here, this one right here, went like this. But we were still deep in the bear, but this rally just got carried away way up here. And we know that because even the technical behavior of it was the same as here. So we're talking about, hey, if this rally actually went like that, that it would be like this. And that, right, then you kind of shuffle, and then you capitulate, and then you capitulate. And that's actually what ended up happening. And the real peak of the market is over here. But this dingus thing got really carried away. And that if you look at the price behavior of it, it's actually the same thing, right? So, that's what's happening. So his question is, well, hey, maybe are we already through it, right? With total, due to it being that phase of the market. Maybe, but such a hard judgment call to make that and say, is that true? Or is it actually just right there, right now, right? Hard for me to sit here and say, hey, we are in the clear because of that, which like conceptually you would think would be right. Conceptually, you would think that would be true. But, hard to make that judgment call, which I'm not entirely comfortable with doing it. But thank you, Becca Med. Joseph Woodward, where am I at? Okay, cool. I'm only 8 minutes behind. Joseph Woodward, hey BCB, I know you're not up for making predictions right now, but if we do keep moving past the all-time high, will you start looking at an area for Bitcoin to top out at all? You're asking me for a Bitcoin price prediction. No, I'm not going to look for one. I'm going to look for distribution. That's it. No, I'm going to look for distribution and wait on it. Baby Oscar Hernandez, goo goo gaga, just a baby, but I have so much greed. Oh, Oscar. Oh, baby Oscar. But Joseph, thank you. Member for 7 months, right? Thank you, sir. Notorious XRP, BCB, a huge fan for years. Let's go. Notorious XRP, been here since 2019. And I did get the honor of meeting him in New York City at the proper party. And he gave me a pin. Thanks, brother. Austin, BC Backer, you write about everything except for VeChain. I still love you, bro. Guys, I hope VeChain does wonderful for you. Hey, man, I missed VeChain in 2021 for sure. If I had been focusing on a little bit more on development activity in 2021, especially the earlier part, maybe I would have saw it. I just don't, we won't go into it. Good luck, guys. I hope you get it. I hope it. Look, man, like I said, lots of winners in this space. It is not a winner take all. I want you all to succeed. Philip, man, gifted a BCB membership. Philip, thank you so much. All right, guys, we did it. We made it. All right, so this is the deal. I'm busy today. It is always extremely busy for me at the end of the month. It's where I get a newsletter published. It's a lot of work. And then, you know what? The first of the month, everything slows down for me massively. So hopefully we get a YouTube video out tomorrow. What do you think? Dude. That would be nice. Anyway, you can check out all these things that I do work on, right? I've got all these audio recordings. I do these write-ups over here on Substack. Of course, you can watch those videos I got over there on bcbacker.com. Over 40 videos and 11 hours of content teaching you how to set up your own charts and indicators. Check out all this data I'm talking about with development activity and altcoins and the performance of them. You will find that I'm not full of it. You will find that the data backs the thoughts that I have and the things that I say. And I've outlined it all for you in here on Substack. Give you a good afternoon of data to enjoy. If you want to check it out for a month. If it's not your thing, cool, man, cancel it. But it's worth it. Anyway, check all this out on Substack. There's links in the description of this video. Check out bcbacker.com. Have an absolutely wonderful day. And I'll check you guys again tomorrow in Markets in the Morning. And we'll probably be getting a video out. Otherwise, if you're subscribed to the Substack, keep an eye out for the release later today. And everybody have a wonderful day. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, wait, hold on. I missed these. Stakes at 135 says, encouraging the BCB community to take profits on the way up or you'll make the mistakes I did in 2017 and 2018 and ride it all the way down. Yep. Here's the deal. Do not let the crowd sway you. You do what's right for you. At the end of the day, you're just screaming on the internet, on social media with a bunch of people, but you're the one who has to live with the results. So you do what's right for you. All right, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.